Bickley and Marotta mornings. Arizona sports. The local sports leader. Bickley Blast.
If you thought Jake McCarthy spent Monday night bouncing off walls, imagine what the entire Diamondbacks fan base is feeling. Our occasionally dominant baseball team is wobbling yet again. Their two left-handed starters are fragile between the ears. Merrill Kelly is fragile on the mound, still dealing with cramping issues. Ketel Marte asked for a day off because his high ankle sprain is apparently still barking at him, and doesn't anybody feel good about Gabby Marino lasting through the end of October if we're lucky enough to get there? This is a monumental week of baseball, folks, and here's some proof. There's a headline in a Salt Lake City paper wondering if Utah could also poach the Diamondbacks. There's a headline in St. Louis about the Cardinals replacing Paul Goldschmidt with the free agent signing of Christian Walker. You can see where this is all going if this season goes dark, and there were over 30,000 empty seats in Chase Field last night, which means either the fan base is shrinking or they're exhausted by all this regular season drama and waiting for the playoffs to begin. Let's hope the Diamondbacks aren't at home watching like the rest of us. All right, today's Bickley Blast brought to you by my great friends at Chapman BMW. Makes luxury attainable. Find them online at chapmanbmw.com.
Maybe, yeah, we'll see. If they are, I think they need to flush out and let it go. I mean, it's 2 days ago. Well, tomorrow will be 2 games ago, but yeah, you know, it wasn't a great outcome. We all saw it. We were watching it, and it was as frustrating as you could probably imagine. But they're professional athletes. They know what they need to do today and tomorrow.
Torey Lovullo last night after the 6-3 loss to the Giants to open up this final week of the regular season where, let's face it, the D-backs need to win some games. And I think if you're a fan of the D-backs, Bick, you were hoping to avoid another backing, moonwalking into the playoffs like last year. It's not a great feeling. Diamondbacks personnel have also said they would like to actually go about it a different way this year.
Certainly.
Did not get off to a good start for the reasons you mentioned. He was talking about maybe a possible hangover from the Milwaukee collapse on Sunday. He's right. They have to flush it. Let's get to the issue at hand is the days off. The last 2 days. On Sunday, Christian Walker, Corbin Carroll got the day off. 8-run lead turns into a 10-9 loss. Am I pinning that solely on the days off? No. Yesterday, more days off. Lourdes Gurriel Jr., Ketel Marte, Gabby Moreno get days off. The offense is flat. They never really get anything going. It's a 6-3 loss. It's so hard to reconcile this feeling of, hey, we want to be aggressive. We want to be winning baseball games when the postseason rolls around, but we have to take it easy and protect these players. And honestly, there was a lot of conflicting tone and messaging from what Torey Lovullo said pregame and what Ketel Marte said postgame. Now, Ketel did say, hey, I asked for the day off.
And again, it came through an interpreter, which makes it even more murky, if you will.
Sure.
Right? Yeah, because lost in translation. Is there anything lost in translation?
Like I said, it's a question in English. Translated into Spanish, answered in Spanish, translated back to English.
So, Right.
Look, and again, this is relatable for people too. When you have a goal ahead of you and you fail to reach that goal, in reflection, you ask yourself, did I give it my best effort? Did I do everything humanly possible to accomplish this goal? And honestly speaking, if the Diamondbacks on Sunday are on the outside looking in, these last 2 or 3 days,
listen.
There's got to be a reason. And maybe the answer, no, we didn't give it our best effort.
And so I wonder the strategy of purposely maybe punting on a Monday night game against the Giants so then you can hit the gas pedal and hope for the best. Again, I question a lot of this stuff because I just don't know how stout this baseball team is right now. As I said in the blast, whether you're talking about Gabby Moreno, who they said dodged a bullet with this hip adductor injury, that's what they're saying. But they said Ketel Marte was ready when he came back, and he got injured almost immediately. And so I don't know if I trust that. Merrill Kelly and the cramping. It's now happened on the road as well as at home. When is that going to stop? And is that going to derail a playoff start if they happen to get there? And then the last couple of nights, I mean, Eduardo Rodriguez was real sharp for the first couple of innings until he wasn't. You know, he got off to a real crisp start, and you're like, okay, we got something here. And then it kind of got away from him again.
Well, you've had, in the last week, you've had 3 opportunities playing against teams that have nothing to play for.
Mm-hmm.
2 in Colorado, they came out flat the first 2 games of that series. Let those slip through their fingers. Then, regroup and win 3 games in resounding fashion against Milwaukee. They let the last one get away in very frustrating fashion. And then last night, just nothing resembling energy last night.
No.
It was a weird feel watching that game.
And it was a weird feel, as I said in the blast, and it was a little bit facetious about the fan base shrinking. We know the fan base isn't shrinking. I just don't know what would stop a fan base from coming out and trying to rally their baseball team on a Monday night in the last week of the season. It doesn't make sense to me. And maybe it's because everyone assumes they're going to get there. We've seen enough of this team where they're going to get there, and they're not in dire straits right now. They've got a 1.5 game lead over the Mets
or the Braves.
I'm sorry, the Mets have passed them. They've got a 1.5 game lead over the Braves for the last wild card spot. The Braves and the Mets are starting a 3-game series today, and that is taking place in Atlanta. So there's going to be some attrition there, and if the Mets take care of business and win that series, it's going to make it pretty hard for the Diamondbacks to lose and to fall out of playoff contention. But at the same time, you don't think Bob Melvin would love nothing more than to hammer this team the next couple of nights?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's the unfortunate reality for a lot of baseball teams is these last few weeks, you're reduced to being a spoiler.
Mm-hmm.
Some teams relish that.
Yep.
Other teams just punt on it. Like, hey, we're going home.
Yeah, we're done.
Like C.J. Abrams, I'm going to the casino.
Maui on 3. Right, exactly. Yeah. So
I would feel better about you hit some truth there. And the Braves Mets series, there's going to be some attrition there. But I would feel way better about it if that was the last series of the year.
Mm-hmm.
The Braves have another series against Kansas City, and they're a team that's trying to fight for their postseason lives. They just got their heads handed to them by the Giants in 3 days in Kansas City. So,
and meanwhile, the Diamondbacks have to deal with the Padres, who have been fantastic over the last 50 games.
Look, the Padres might come to town on Friday, tied for first place in the National League West. They might have a lot to play for.
They might be playing for a division title.
Yes.
That's exactly right. So the Diamondbacks have to earn this, and I just wonder exactly, as I said before, this is so fraught with peril. We can get back into it later. There's literally a story in the Deseret News about Utah stealing the Diamondbacks today. Because apparently they've got Big League Utah, which is a fund or a initiative where they're ready to throw $1 billion at a baseball team.
Yeah, but a lot of that came from a local report and a quote from Derek Hall to the Sports Business Journal. We will get back into that later on.
Salt Lake City.
Thanks for watching Bickley and Murata. Click to see the latest Bickley Blast and hit the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.